Hi, this is Christopher Lewis, and welcome to Dating Intelligence, the podcast where we give relationship advice from dating to marriage and everything else in between. And always with the goal of helping you to continuously be the best you at all times.
So if you're looking for real, honest information to help you navigate your relationships, we've got you covered.
We've got you covered. We got some big old screens in here today, Jamie.
I know.
It's a big day.
I get to stare at myself all day.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. All right, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to another day at Sticky Paw Studios, and I'm with my lovely co-host, Jamie Villamore. What's up, girl?
Not much. I saw you laughing at my stories when I got my ass handed to me at Waft.
I mean, how could I not laugh? I mean, first of all, you got to explain to the audience on what the hell chicken wings means, first of all, in this situation.
So we were doing grappling. We do like scenario training for the love of Jesus.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, scenario training out at Waft again in, I almost said in Italy because of our guest here, but I got a little distracted. But yeah, in Orlando. So yeah, I just couldn't get out of this move. And they're like, Jamie, put your arms up. But the guy was so big behind me that I'm like, my arms are not going up. And they were like, you're trying to do this. And I'm like, no, I'm not strong enough to get him up. So then I just did a little booty bump, but I still
The booty bump was the best part of the whole thing, though, by the way.
I didn't get out of it. So long story short, if I would have been in a dark alley and someone did that to me, I probably wouldn't have got away.
I'm sure you probably would have. You probably would have found a way to squirm out of that thing. So you're a pretty tough girl. I don't think there's any problem with that. So.
But it was fun.
All right. Well, anything else new? I mean, I haven't seen almost like, God, it's been a month. You've had some kind of like a month hiatus off in your little shell of recovery and just relaxation. So I'm glad that you took that time off. Everyone needs that.
It was fun.
Good.
And you're moving?
I'm moving. Yeah.
Do you have a guest room for me?
I do. You know what? You have your own guest
apartment.
So
and it's like, yeah.
Guys, we're going to escrow on a new house. Super excited about it in LA. And I'm really excited. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally happened. And I will keep you updated on that once we are finally moved in. So to be continued. Yeah. We got a lot to also talk about. We'll continue on with some other things as the episode goes on, but I want to get into our guests right away because we have two amazing guests and I'm going to get into amazing intros. So we have two incredible guests today. Our first guest is a model and music artist who is about to cause a stir in the music industry with the release of her new debut single, Wreckage, that is coming out in a few days. And I'm super excited for her. So please welcome Harmony Swank to the show.
Thank you.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You have the best smile ever, by the way.
Yes. She lights up the room.
Making me blush.
Yeah. Everything going well?
So good.
Good. Well, good to have you on the show.
Great right now. Thank you.
I just, first of all, I'm just super excited to have you in because of all the stories that we heard with you and Jamie in Italy. And one of my favorite postings ever is that I'm going to call it the kiss.
She literally did like a questionnaire and she's like, did we kiss or did we not? I think most people said no.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people said no, they didn't kiss.
No.
I had a big, I hope so.
I kissed a girl and there was the kiss picture and people were like, and then my followers were like, bring. Oh, great.
The claim to fame. You're like, no, it's my music.
That's my 15 seconds of kissing Jamie in Italy. Great.
I was like, maybe put your Instagram on private.
Right.
She's like, you don't want what's about to happen.
You're about to get a lot of hits on that one.
Oh, yeah.
And do not answer your DMs, please, in that situation.
Yep.
Right.
Those happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad I was just an innocent bystander just looking on him because I was like, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to let that thing happen and just kind of just let it disappear at the same time because I can go so many ways with that one. I'm just going to let it go.
I attacked her.
She attacked. She's an attack. We're both lions, so.
Yeah, that's true. We are both
Are you a Leo
Leos.
as well? What's your birthday, if I may ask?
8/8.
Oh, my God. So I'm 8/2. Yeah.
You're
another
Leo
in the room.
too?
Yeah.
Leos are like the best.
I'm telling you, it's been a thing with this show lately.
They're the
Frankie,
best.
are you a Leo?
I'm not.
You're not the best, Frankie.
I'm
Sorry.
Aquarius.
Okay, well, you know what?
Aquarius
That's
is cool,
okay.
though.
My older sister Aquarius, and I love her to death. So,
All right.
Well, we got to get this guy, and his voice is on air now. So, our second guest has an incredible resume in the music industry with 17 top 10 albums, 5 number ones, 81 top 10 singles, 67 at number one, and an Emmy nomination, and being named Las Vegas Headliner of the Year 5 times. That's pretty amazing.
It's all right.
This music badass is consistently breaking records and wowing audiences from coast to coast with his own brand of genre, blurring rock and roll. Please welcome Frankie Moreno to the show.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I want to know. So you just said A right now, but do you have like when you get up on stage, what do you say to everyone when you come out?
I usually start off just drinking, and then whatever happens. So I don't really remember any of the shows.
Okay, I just wonder, because everybody has some intro. I wonder what your grand interest is when you walk out there.
No, I don't really have one. I just every show is just kind of different, I guess.
Okay.
I don't really remember the shows, really.
You really don't?
No, that's what makes them entertaining, I think.
Yeah. Well, I guess which means you're in the moment, you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. There's no. We don't go with a set list. We don't go with anything. We just go on stage and kind of
Wow.
see what happens.
You wing
Okay.
it
Yeah.
every time.
That's
So
amazing.
I had the opportunity. Harmony actually brought me to his show, so I got to see him perform, and it was amazing.
It was a little
And-
speakeasy thing we did, like a
was
small,
so
like
cool.
50-person thing.
Yeah. And he did drink throughout the show.
Okay.
But he made a reference. He's like, I'm performing in, is it Indianapolis?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, and I'm not going to be able to drink. And I was like, does this motherfucker drink at every show?
Right. Is this why? Wait, hold on. And I'm reading. Wait, hold on. This is why it says the brand of genre blurring rock
That's
and roll.
right.
'Cause
See,
it's blurred out.
it's blurred for me for sure. No, I don't really. I wouldn't say I'm a big drinker. I don't really drink outside of work. I only drink when I sing, just because I guess I get uncomfortable on stage.
Really?
I don't know. I mean,
You do not get uncomfortable on stage.
I don't. I think that's how it started,
Right.
And then it just kind of
Yeah.
turned a thing. Now everyone buys shots and sends shots. I think they're all just trying to get me fired or messed up.
You know
is
what?
the,
That's very interesting because I performed with Pitbull during the Billboard Awards, and before we went live, we were like standing there, and I'm like staring at him, and of course it's not me singing,
Right.
so I got to rag him a little bit, and I'm like, "Are you nervous?" And he looked at me and grabbed me. He was like, "Anyone that says that they're not nervous is lying." He's
Right.
like,
That's
he's
so
been doing
true.
it for that long, and he still like gets.
See though, I'm gonna say the opposite of that. Like for
Really?
me, like I find I love to be nervous. I want to be nervous. I feel like when I'm nervous, I put on a better performance because
Okay.
I'm concerned. I have to struggle to find the nerve because I've been doing it since I was 7 years old.
Wow.
So I didn't like stumble into the business. I've been singing in stages for people since I was. So you do it. Everything that could go wrong. Like if you're doing this podcast and the mic goes out, what do you do next? And then if that happens
Well,
again,
I just
now
steal
you
Jamie's mic and just start
Exactly.
rolling with it.
But
half
once
the
once
time.
all the things that go wrong, the lights go out, the power goes. Once everything that you've experienced, once you've done it all, like there's no surprise that could happen that would scare you.
Right.
Nerves are like
Interesting.
not knowing what's going to happen. Like once you've experienced it all. So for me, I think it was just I started drinking a little bit of whiskey to kind of make me think maybe I'll mess up now if I'm drinking, and it created nerves.
Ah,
Oh, I
interesting.
love that. He's
Yeah.
creating some sort of
They
like.
say
I'm not
that-
saying
Sabotage.
Pitbull's full of shit or anything like
Nerves.
that.
He's sabotaging his
Fuck
own
you,
self before he
Pitbull.
gets up on stage. So.
Sorry, Pitbull.
Oh my God. All right. Well, Harmony, what got you started in the music industry? How did that start for you?
Yeah.
Have you been
Yeah,
singing
so my
for a long time
dad-
as well?
Yeah, since I
Okay.
was 3. My dad does like vocal impersonations and stuff. And so from a young age, he literally would like karaoke and put the mic in my hand.
He
Just
does
be
a great
like,
impression of Pitbull.
Yeah, very,
Seriously,
very
that's
great
great.
at Pitbull. Yeah, and he just always did that. And then I was in dancing, and then we had this like big recital thing where you had to show a different talent.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna go sing when I was like 4, and I just like loved it.
That's great.
And I loved it. And I was like, actually, I like singing more than dancing.
Do you remember
Still love
that at that
dancing.
age when
I
that
do.
happened? That's
I
great.
did Annie. The sun will come out. My mom curled my hair and put me in the red dress, and I actually got in trouble for doing Annie I forget why, but I got in trouble after that, and I was like crying, but I was like, I still want to sing.
Ah,
I
all
did
wanna
Annie
do.
once.
You did?
I'm sure you did a lot of Annies.
Did you wear the dress?
I'm only kidding.
I'm just don't know what city did you do Annie in. That's all I want.
I don't think we're talking about the same Annie.
I don't think so.
Oh my
So,
God.
Frankie, I have to ask.
Yep.
You've had 67 number ones.
Yeah.
you're-
I don't know who's counting.
You
but
should
yeah.
say it 3 more times.
No, we just started. I got a few number ones, and that whole thing, and then we started getting kind of an increasing amount where it started getting kind of crazy, and our albums on Billboard, like those are singles. The number ones are like singles, but like our albums, I've had a couple number one records albums, and on Billboard charts and all that. And one year we broke the record for the most top 10 albums on Billboard in 1 year.
Wow.
So Billboard sent us this whole thing, and I'm like, if I just keep releasing a ton of music, we have a great fan base, and let me just keep just trying to like do some record breaking stuff,
Okay.
Yeah.
And we had a couple number ones, and that turned into 10, that turned into 15, that turned into 20, which we started breaking like major artists that, like for instance, Elvis has 18, Beatles
Okay.
have 22, but they've only released so much music in their career, right? It has nothing to do with whose song is more popular. It's how many people bought that song at one time, right?
Yeah.
So once we hit like 30 or something like that, it was like, all right, who's got the most? And it was George Strait. George Strait had 60 in his career. So like, all right, let's just see how close we can come to that. And then we beat him, and then we're like, well, let's take a couple more in case he gets another number one. Let's get a couple more because
But the industry's changed now to the fact what you saying that like George Strait having the most. At the time when you mentioned Elvis and the Beatles,
different.
It was because it was records. They're putting out albums. Not nowadays. You can put out just singles.
Yeah,
right?
but but see with a number one like those for Elvis and those are singles. Those are singles.
Okay.
But they're singles off an album or like a 45. They used to make it.
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
But there was a different. I mean, like gold records now and everything are different. It used to be like $1 million worth of sales as a gold record, and now it's 500,000 copies sold as a gold record. So I mean, everything is altered because the population is quadrupled since the 50s, or whatever. But like,
I feel like he just mentioned my credit score. It's like transparent over here and external over here.
Well, no,
there's different ways of making it happen.
Well,
but it all goes to the same
streaming.
thing.
Streaming is crazy now. So we try not to do, not to like. I don't want to get in a rant about like the music industry, but like there's places where you can go and just hear music for free, and there's places where you can pay. And the problem is like everyone that's making records go, we made a record, let's put it out for free. Well, it costs money to make a record.
Yeah.
A lot of money, time, a lot of players, you got to pay all the musicians, the writers. You make this record, you put out, and go, let's just give it to everyone for free. And everyone goes, hey, and you probably listen on your iPhone speaker. You probably, for like 30 seconds, you're like, hey, that's cool. Okay, what's next?
Right.
And you go, and then you just give it away. So like we tried to like stick with the Apple Musics and the Amazons and stuff that actually pay.
Okay.
Because, all the young kids just want to get seen, and what's happening is it's kind of hurting the business because no one can make money anymore.
Right. Especially with the different avenues that you can use now, right?
Right. And like Harmony, just made an album, and the playing that goes into it, the time that goes in, it's time and time and time. So time is money, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, when you're talking like, you come over and you sing a song, blah 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 blah, 3.5 minutes, you sing the song, edit that, copy that, and then the artist leaves, and the engineer is sitting there for 30 hours editing the vocals.
Oh wow!
And then you just go, let's just give it away. It's weird,
Right.
Yeah.
So streaming has played a big part. So like like someone gets like 1 million streams, and you get like 80 cents. Like it's
not worth
crazy.
it.
So all that plays into the number ones and stuff. So all our number ones, luckily we say like are on iTunes where you pay the buck,
Okay.
And then we gave all that to like charity too, because no one's making money in the industry anyway. We're like, well, I'm not gonna like be some greedy weird guy. So we gave it all to the COVID-19 relief fund during that, and then we gave it all to animals. We're big into
That's
animals.
great.
But her, back to her, she just came in and you came to the show at the
Your first show at the
Palms. We opened a new show at the Palms, and she came to the show and then texted me afterwards. She goes, hey, do you know anything about country music? And I'm like, yeah, I know a little bit about country music.
Right. Did you guys know each other before that show?
We did. Yeah,
Okay.
we've known each other like about 12 years.
Oh, wow, that's
and so
great.
this was like his new residency, and he was just like, hey, if you want to come out. And I was like, yeah, of course, I'm going to come. And it was actually weird because I had been blocked for so long with music. Like, I love writing. It's my favorite thing ever. And like, long story short, have done like magic for been stuffed in boxes and cut in half for like the last decade. And I was super blocked from like music, and all of a sudden like this song had come to me, and I was like, I think this is really good. And then like another song came to me, and I was like, okay, I think I'm unblocked now. Like the key has been
that's
twisted.
great. Mm-hmm.
And then I came to his show, and the day after he was just like, how'd you like the show? And I was like, oh, I loved it. And then it sounds really weird, but it was like something took my hands, like text him, because I usually don't like bother people like that. Like, oh, listen to my stuff. And I just asked him, and he was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's kind of my thing.
I lived in Nashville for a while, so like when she said you do country music, like I don't sing country music, but I love it and I write it, and I've played with so many country artists, and so when she said that, I was like, let me see like what you have, and I wasn't gonna like judge her song,
right?
I mean, like you say, oh, here, let me show you a song. Like, no, man, it wasn't that.
But people do that,
They
though,
do.
right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
and that's
They tear it
terrible.
apart.
That's terrible. I mean, the thing to do is you just if you don't like it, you just go, I'm not interested in doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's song is usually their diary. So when I go like, no, man, that page in your life sucks. Not interested.
Yeah.
You just go like, oh, I'm too busy. But like, but she sent me this, and all I was really looking for, I wasn't looking for. She goes, oh, I only have a little voice recording on my phone.
Okay, and there was no music behind it at all yet.
There's a little
There was,
guitar,
like, a little
guitar, just kind of so I knew what it was. But I really just wanted to see her lyric, honestly, because I can fix all the music. I wanted to see the lyric. Like, is she writing like what you think is supposed to be a hit song, or is she writing like real music? Because real music is what makes hit songs. You know, something that's real.
Define real music.
Just something that comes from a place of it either happened to you, or that's who you are, or you live that life. You know, Pitbull, for instance, or La Vida Loca, right? Like, oh, it's just fun and silly.
Yeah.
But whoever wrote that song is not sitting at home like some hermit sitting at home going like, I'm living the crazy life.
Yeah.
It's someone that's out there drinking champagne and stuff,
Right.
and you can feel that in the lyric. And then the artist also has to portray that, right?
Yeah.
So when you're a singer-songwriter, like what she's wanting to do, like when you write your own music, if you go on stage and you're not singing your truth, whether it's like I'm sad or I'm happy or I just want to party,
Yeah.
or everyone get in line, whatever that is, it's got to represent who you actually are.
But how did you know that?
The lyric was pretty vulnerable.
Okay.
It sounded pretty vulnerable
And he's been in the business for so long too. He
Right.
could
yeah,
probably pick it
and
up
I don't
now.
know if I mean maybe she's bullshitting me and she got me. You
He
know,
actually asked me that. He goes like, did you just like make this up, or is this like real? And I was
said,
like,
"Are you
I
going
can
through
only
some
write
shit?"
from my heart. Yeah. He goes, are you okay? That's his first question. It's like, no, this is from the heart.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and then I said, send me something else, and the 2 or 3 songs she sent all had the same gist.
That's what I was about to ask you. I go, because like sometimes they want a backup saying, what else do you have to
Yeah.
make sure it's along the same
Right.
line?
So
And
if she's
they
like,
were.
They
I'm
were.
so sad, life is so sad, and then the next song is like, woo, having the time of my life. You're like, I don't know what artist you are. And that's the other thing. Like when you're an artist, you have to come out with, if you're coming out with an album, you can't have all across the board.
Right.
The album has to
Be cohesive in
Right.
the same tone.
So when I saw, like, she sent me, like, I think 3 songs, and I'm like, and she's like, I just want to do a single. I'm like, well, what are you going to do with this single? You're a new artist, so you don't have a fan base. So what's going to happen? You make a single, you pay the money,
And then what?
you put it out, friends will buy it. It's an ego thing. It's called a vanity record, right? Like you make this thing, you're like, yeah, I got a single. But what happens, you know? And so, like, you have a better opportunity if you focus on more of a career thing instead of just a single, you know?
And you weren't thinking that at the time, Harmony. You
At
just
the
had
time,
something,
honestly,
right?
I wanted to just be a writer. 'Cause I
Gotcha.
felt like, I'm older now, and like I used to want to be an artist, but now I'm like, let me just write for people because I love writing. I could do that as old as I get from anywhere, and so that's how I like kind of came to him. Like I want to write for other artists, but then when we got together and like I think the first day we did 2 songs pretty
Okay.
much, and then he's like, I think you should actually be an artist. And I was
Now,
like,
when you said you did
wasn't
2
thinking about
songs,
it.
obviously you mean you went in and you recorded with your vocals
Yeah, like
and
rough
things
vocals
behind
for me,
it.
and then he like put all the music, every
Right.
instrument, like literally to 2 songs. And
Okay.
the next day I woke up and another song came to me, and I wrote it, and I came in with him, and like in the course of 2 days we had 3 songs. And he
Wow.
was like, "What's happening? Like this is working, and
Yeah, it
I
was
think you
pretty
should be an
fast-paced.
artist now instead of like just the writer. Like you can do what you want, but I encourage that, and let's do a freaking album."
And
I was
also
like,
in country music,
great.
age is not so much.
I
Yeah.
agree.
If she was trying to come out and be a pop star and go up against Ariana Grande and stuff like that, it has nothing to do with talent at that point. It's just a machine. It's just a
Yeah.
machine, and like they want the 19-year-old artist to
Right.
be in the machine.
With the look.
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, Bruno Mars is a pop artist, Justin Bieber's a pop artist. They're older, but they weren't when they came out.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So like to break out as an artist, you kind of need to break out at 19, 20, 23, you know, and then you can have a career. But in country, very different.
Right.
Yeah.
Country is about telling stories and like just opening yourself up. And it has nothing to do, everyone's got this whole thing about trucks and dogs. I mean, honestly, Elvis Presley was country music. You know what I mean? If you listen to old like Merle Haggard songs, there's nothing about trucks in that. He's talking about going to jail because
Yeah.
he was
Right.
he was a bad guy.
Right.
But like, so I mean, it was all their truths though, you know, and it was just put to a certain genre of instrumentation. So instead of using a synth keyboard, you're using a steel guitar or something, and that creates it. But country music now, I don't even know what it is now because I mean you could do anything. It's all
it's
hip
evolved
hoppy
a lot.
kind of
Pop country,
Yeah.
like it's just evolved so
yeah
much.
hick hop.
So I'm sure you've had the opportunity to work with several artists over the course of your career. What was it about her that made you connect and want to work with her?
I mean, honestly, first of all, just seeing the vulnerability in the lyric, and my whole thing is I love songwriting. I'm a songwriter. Like I sing on stage, and I've had the hit records and stuff like that. But that just comes from I just want to be a songwriter.
Okay.
And this is one thing I even told her. It's like everybody wants to be everything. You want to be a dancer, a singer, an actress, an entrepreneur. Everyone wants to be everything. But you have to focus. There has to be like, what's the focus? And like, for me, I'm a songwriter. And I play an instrument to show you my song. And I sing to show you my words. And I stand on stage to let you hear my song. We're on this podcast talking because we're talking about her songs, which I'm interested in, So when she showed me that, I instantly was interested in the writing she was doing. And then even her voice on the track, it was a voice memo, but I could hear okay, this is something. This is not nothing. This is something that can be brought out, right? And then she showed me some tracks like she did with other producers in the past that sounded great, but they were like trying to make her this or trying to make her that. I'm like, let me see what you just are, and let's just make you that, not try to
mold you into
a good producer lets you do what you do, and you hope that you're good at it. And when she started singing, I just laid down some quick tracks that first day, and then she started singing, and I'm like, her voice sounded like it should be on the radio. You know what I mean? Like it just sounded, it sounds unique. You listen to Dolly Parton, sounds like Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Cher sounds like Cher. Elvis sounds like Elvis.
Yes.
Not everybody has that, and you don't have to have that to be successful, but the ones who have kind of a unique sound, and I can hear everyone like she listens to in her voice because she's, but it's
he helped
kinda,
me find my sound, which I love so much because I always told him, I was like, I have so many genres that I love, and I love to sing them, I love to write them, but I hate when they make you pick one lane because I love everything.
Right.
And so I want to be pop, I want to be country, I want to be soul, and he helped me just take every influence that I've had and make my own sound of it, which is so special to me.
And there's nothing wrong with having, these days you can have we're from the era of greatest hits records.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So when a guy put out a record in the 50s or 60s, it was one cohesive thing. Now you listen to a greatest hits record and you're listening to their career.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to use Elvis again as an example, or George Strait or something like that. You can listen to his early music and his later music. That's two different artists, but it's one guy, right?
Right.
So we're from an era where you can kind of be across the board in genre. But the story, I told her, as an artist, you have to find your audience. And if you're saying these words, if these are real words that you're feeling, right? If this is something you're going through in your life, and you speak that, you will be the voice for all the people that are going through that who don't know how to voice that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't grab and bring in this whole herd that likes that message and then change your message.
Right. And I think that's why music is so powerful, because people can relate. So they're like, oh my gosh, that's how I'm feeling.
That's why I love writing for that exact reason.
And her writing was she was very, very fast. It was just quick. We knocked, she had the 2 song ideas, and we would sit down and I go this would make this a little more commercial because your voice sounds radio, so we need to kind of go radio.
Okay.
And let's do this. And then we're like, okay, well, I had the idea. Let's just do an album, because then you're really, drilling that message.
Right. What was the span of time between the text that you sent to now, what you're talking about?
I feel like she knocked it out.
Yeah,
our album was written within a month and a half, and that's
amazing.
with us both traveling.
Yeah, that's with
times.
you guys
Italy.
going to Italy,
Yeah.
and I went to
She was
Hawaii a couple
writing
times.
songs in Italy.
That's
we
great.
were on the bus.
we were on a
I'm like,
bus.
what are you doing? And she's like, just don't talk to me.
She's like, I'm writing about the kiss.
I'm in the
come
zone. Yeah,
on.
writing about us. Come on.
I'd say we did 11 songs, and I'd say over the course of actually getting together 12 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was really, really fast.
Wow.
12
First
days.
of all, I
Very
want to
fast.
commend you, first of all, for taking the chance sending him the text, because I know that's got to be one of the hardest things to do,
Yeah.
especially with
I
someone
don't
that
do
you
stuff
know.
like that. Thank you.
Right, and I'm a firm believer of that. So anyone listening to this, for sure, if you have something that you really believe in, I'll give to anybody that I know,
Yeah.
because
It's okay if they say no.
Exactly, because it's
Yes.
not about that. It's about you taking the chance
Yeah, you
because
did
you
take the
believe in what
chance.
you're doing,
Right.
and that's
Thank
what I
you.
love about
Yeah,
that.
I was
So,
nervous. I didn't
yeah.
get it.
And
well,
he
I mean,
could have been like, he could have shit on
He
your.
could be like, hell
Yeah,
no.
and here's the problem. Like, if it wasn't something for me, it doesn't
right.
mean it's not for somebody else.
Right.
And me shitting on it might discourage her, and she just goes, because she's already timid about it. So
Yeah,
just
and
like,
pushed it and shelved it.
I'm just gonna model
I
it. You know.
feel like this happens all the time, and I tell people, I'm like, hey, when one door closes, it doesn't mean that you just give up.
There's a
It means it
1,000
wasn't.
doors.
It wasn't a fit for them,
For
so
you.
you keep moving.
Yeah.
So I'm
So-
curious then off of that then, would you, if he would have said no, would you have continued to find the next person in theory?
Yeah,
100%
Okay, good.
I
she
would have.
would've.
I
That's
think.
fine.
I think at that
Yeah.
moment I was so just excited to be writing, and I felt really good about it. And I sent it to like people who are artists as well, and I was just like, "Tell me your honest truth." Like just a bunch of random people, just to be like, "Am I onto something?" And everybody just loved it, and I was like,
That's
"Just
great.
don't tell me this, just to tell me it." But like, if I have something, I want to continue. If not, I'd rather you just tell me. But yeah,
Okay.
I think I would have pursued it. I just like I always had like pop producers, and country was just coming into my head.
Okay.
And so when I asked
That's
him,
what she said.
Well, first of all, do we have a snippet of the song?
Yeah, let's
do.
Travis, can
Hear
we
a
play a
little.
snippet of this? This is Wreckage we're about to listen to, correct?
yes,
Nice.
wreckage.
Nice.
Single, yeah.
Nice.
So like, could be on the radio.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
makes me
Your-
emotional to
Yeah,
hear
your
it like
voice
that
sounds
and like
amazing.
see
It
that.
sounds
I'm just
really
thinking,
amazing.
I'm
So
like,
when we
"Ah."
finished that, like that song came far later in the process. All the songs were just kind of this place, it seemed like, where she is in her life mentally. Like, I'm kind of here, and I'm kind of. She's not 19,
Yeah.
you know.
Close.
Close. I'm really
26.
not far off.
But she
21.
so you have to just look at like the lifestyle and everything fit right in her lyrics, what she was saying. So then we were trying to think of like, okay, what would be a good single.
He
to release off
literally
this?
goes, just name the album Wreck, because you're a freaking wreck. After like 6 songs in. And I was like, at first I was like, geez. And I was like, wreck. Oh, wreckage. My life is wreckage right now. Like, and then I woke up and I wrote wreckage. I was
That's
like, that's
amazing.
a good
Yeah,
title.
not like
Wow.
it's a.
Wow.
It's not even so much a negative. It's just
No,
like
it's
it's
just-
okay, like picking up pieces, like
Yeah.
figuring.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
basically
okay in it.
dumping it out and looking at it, examining it, and
Yeah.
being okay with it.
Wow.
Right.
that-
Like thriving through it. Like I thrive in the mess of it. Is
Okay.
literally the lyrics. So it's just like, I'm going to be okay. Like whatever life throws, like just keep throwing it. Like it's how I respond to it.
All
you
right.
know?
I like that.
So when we finished getting all the songs recorded, I brought on this guy. His name is Pat Thrall to mix and master the whole thing. Who's done like every star you can ever imagine, from pop to country to blues to rock. I mean, like Celine Dion, Justin Bieber. And then he took and mixed the song, like, you know, EQ.
Cleaned it up and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he started calling me. He's like, well, you know, here's the thing. We can just release this. Like, let's put the single on and just get a little attention with it. But, like, let's not just put the album out and take a chance that, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a pretty good fan base now, but I still don't know when I put out a record what's going to happen. You know, some people just might be busy that day. They don't buy the record.
Right.
So we're like, well, let's really shop this to the right people, the right labels, and all that stuff. Because he was even like, man, her voice sounds like super radio and just unique. Like, it has a Carrie Underwood feel, has a Dolly Parton thing, but it's got her own
Yeah.
thing on it.
Yes.
And
You have an
just,
incredible voice, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
and that single right there is kind of more of the commercialized, I guess you would say, radio friendly.
Oh, I
song
get it.
that
I mean, when I was doing my intros, I'm like playing it in the background. I go, why is my head popping to this shit? It's like
Right,
country,
right.
but it's not country.
Right.
But I don't want to turn it off. 'Cause
Right.
Your voice is amazing.
Thank
like
you
I said,
so
it really does bring
Thank
you
you.
in. And like for me, like I said, I was doing this lesson. I was like, because I had to play it to listen as I was looking up your
Yeah.
intros, and I was just
Yeah.
like, God damn! It's like
How'd
it's
you
just.
get it? Did she send it to you?
No, I just went on her Instagram. You know,
Just
I
like
find
my little
everything.
snippet.
I'm
I
like,
know.
yeah.
Thank
so,
you.
yeah.
That means so much. to
Yeah.
me.
What's
Thank
funny
you.
is when she was recording, she's in the room recording it, and because you haven't performed in front of people really
In a
before.
long time.
So she's sitting there and she's like, all she kept talking about is, I can't wait to sing this song live. And
Like,
then
I wanna be on stage
She's got
Yeah.
her headphones on and her eyes are closed, and she's dancing and like.
See, I could
just
see the
watching me,
excitement.
like,
yeah,
she
so
keeps
she was
moving
doing
off
that.
the mic,
That's
like she's not even paying attention to the recording where she's just dancing. And I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm performing. I'm like, no,
You're like, we're recording right now. You're not on stage,
She's so
motherfucker.
excited.
sing it first.
And I'm like dancing. I'm like, God, I can't like stop moving. I'm just gonna go.
But that's what you were saying earlier because it's a part of you in that
Right.
track. And if
Yes.
anyone sings, they have to feel that same tone and
Yes.
vibe, and
Yes.
you
Right.
exude all that.
Yes.
So.
Thank
And
you.
again, that
Amazing.
track is more the commercialized. There's some stuff on there that really gets just into your soul too. I mean, it's a combination
There's
of things.
so many. It's such a different.
Okay.
Like, there's so much.
Right.
There's so many. Like one's like a little more rock, but you still have that country to it. Like.
One's like an Adele kind of sound, like very
Yes,
stripped down piano
super.
vocal.
Great.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's you know, if I've worked with a lot of people, from amateurs to pros and everything, and like when she came in, it was just fast. She wrote fast.
Right.
There's just like
Which is
chemistry.
good for
We
you
were on the
because
same
now
page.
you're
I'm-
on a roll still too.
Yeah,
in theory.
I'm very fast. Like I'm scary fast. Like
Yeah.
I like to just.
Right.
Oh, he would like go on the piano and then he would grab the guitar and then he'd be doing drums and then he could throw the violin. Then he goes like, and I'm just like, what is it? What is? I'm
Well,
like,
it's just
oh,
from doing. It's
watching
just from
him.
doing it all the
Yeah.
time. It's
It's
just.
So you play
Amazing.
all these
Like
instruments.
every instrument, he's like a
Wow.
prodigy.
Yeah, I played
It's
everything on the
crazy.
record, but it's just from. I mean, you know.
But what are you hearing, like when you're reading the lyrics? Like for instance, records. For instance, when you saw the lyrics
When
to that,
I see the
what are
lyric
you
and I
hearing in
kind
your-
of hear the idea of what she's like, she's singing it, but she doesn't have like music going with it. It's just kind of like she writes to like these like little things you find on YouTube. Like here's like some chords just to give you
Okay.
something to sing to.
Yeah.
And she'll show me that and we'll go like, oh, that's cool. Let's recreate that and alter it into an original
Okay,
song.
because you're
Completely
hearing that
though.
as well when you're writing. After a while, when you're
I
done,
can
you can
hear-
kind of hear what it
yeah,
should sound like
yeah.
too.
And the second you hear, now that we have the chords and the melody in the record, you know, you have the
Yeah.
chords, it's like I'm hearing the drum fills, I'm hearing where the harmony should come, I'm hearing everything.
Okay.
He like brings everything I hear in my
How
head
do you
like
do
to
that
life.
though?
I
Is
mean,
it a
it's-
talent?
but there is a
Yeah, I mean,
talent.
but honestly, like it sounds all magical and cool, but like when you do something every day, you know what I mean? Like someone says, "Hey, how do you get your eye makeup?" Like when you do it every day, like
That's true.
it's just what
But
you
you
do.
also have an ear
Yeah.
for it. Like he's like, I could hear glass shatter and literally know the key that's in. Like
Yeah,
he
I mean,
hears
it's
it.
Right.
it's a
Differently.
thing that I have, but I've cultivated it and I do it every day.
Okay.
Every day I wake up very early in the morning and I work on that all day. And but when I was hearing, I'm just hearing the whole production, and then obviously she thinks with songs very similar to how I do in writing, which is great, but also not exactly because then it would be boring. So like
Yeah.
she'll say like, well, what about this right here? I'm like, oh yeah, that, or no, you
But
know.
we're usually on the same page. Like we
That's
have
good.
great chemistry. We're usually on the same page. Like we like what each other does. And I'm like, I'll do something, and he's like, yep, keep that.
Yeah,
Like,
there was no
it's
push or
good.
pull. It was no
No.
push or pull, and I told her right off the bat, I'm like, I'm gonna kick your ass when you're recording vocals because it's got to be right. And then she just started kind of like singing it, and she's like, no, I can do it better. I'm like, it's not about better. Like, you just nailed that emotion.
I thought he was gonna kick my ass a lot more.
Oh,
I thought
wow.
it was too,
Yeah.
but she nailed the emotion. If she's saying something like "You broke my heart," for instance, if she says that line and she's trying to "You broke my heart," no one's gonna feel anything.
Right.
But if she just sings it because she's there and you capture it on tape, it's like, well, that's what's going to hit
I know. I
people.
was constantly like, I can do it again. I can. And he goes, no, you're keeping it. And I was like,
So I could do that
Frankie.
better. What's better? More
I was like, I just want to nail it better.
better in your head, more like I
It's like
Moved my
it's
body.
like doing an acting line
Yeah.
over again when you're just like there's different emotions you're feeling, but at the
Yes.
same time you won't know until you hear it.
Right.
Yes, and
personally
somebody else
played
is going to
back.
perceive it
Mhm,
differently
that's
too.
correct.
We
Yeah.
we have a duet on the album too.
Oh, I'm excited
Oh,
about this
cool.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was quick. I mean, it was sitting down and like having a common goal
Yeah.
of what we wanted to do. And then I would say like, hey, we need this kind of song. And she would go home and then the next day she'd come back, I got this idea, and knock it out. And then we'd have that song. I mean, the song is done in, a song is 3.5 minutes. So, I mean, you write it, it takes us 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to write it.
I feel like some people it takes them fucking years.
Well,
It can.
yeah, I mean, I guess it, and sometimes it even does for me. I mean, like it just sometimes things roll, and in this
Right.
case, it was
Yeah.
rolling. So that's one reason I really wanted to pound her about this, like really wanted to pound the idea. I really wanted to pound the idea.
Let's say that again, Frankie. What was that?
That's going to be the soundbite.
Thanks, Frankie.
Pounding what? Where?
I really wanted to pound her.
No, I just wanted to get the idea of getting.
It's okay, Frankie. Annie will know.
Tell us
Annie
how
will
you really
always
feel,
know.
Frankie.
I wanted to pound her
God.
too.
Where's
In Italy.
No, I wanted to like knock out as many
sun will
of
come
that
out.
vibe as we could.
All right. Bet your bottom dollar.
Good night, everybody. No, it was like when it was moving so fast, I'm like, if this is not normal that it goes this fast. I mean, it's normal for me when I work alone because I know, and maybe for her, but like when two people get together, it's not always like you guys could get together and do. Yeah, it's not always. You could have two great people,
right?
But they don't necessarily work together well,
right?
And it just worked. It just worked well. And I'm like, if we stop the train like to do a single, and we pick this up in 6 months, maybe that idea won't be there anymore, right? That vibe won't be
right
kicking around still.
Right.
So like, let's knock out this vibe, and then when we get back together, like I'm leaving for a couple months to work, but when we get back, maybe it's a whole different train of thought. But at least we knocked out a whole record.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
so
like.
I have to say something about something that just came to me just a minute ago. Like Leo and Aquarius is a good matchup for this sort of situation,
Right,
by the way,
right.
because my sister, like I'm looking at him going, my sister's just like him. My older sister, like she is like fast moving, but she gets shit done. And when she gets it done, it's like she's a choreographer, like a big choreographer, and she gets shit done. Like she can bust out like a dance routine in no time flat
Right.
and keep it going with no problem because that's where her brain functions that way, just like yours does.
Right.
And you don't stop. It's like you commit, you do it, and you get it done.
Well, and I've always heard that like if you're writing a song, like you finish it, even if it sucks, just finish it.
Okay.
Because if you leave it, a song is a moment. A good song is a moment in it's a diary page, right? That's why it's hard. It's hard, like for me, I don't really do these a lot, you know? Like I'm excited to do it for her because like this is her first thing and she loves it. But for me, like once I write a song, I hate even singing it in the show because like I'm not there mentally anymore.
Gotcha.
I'm moved on to the next day of my life. And everyone wants to talk for the next year about that one song. And you're like, hey, I write a song every day. Like, I've written 300 songs since that song, and your last song is always your favorite. So it's exciting to do the process with her who's never done like an album thing like this. And to see the excitement in a single coming out. Like,
Yeah, you better get ready for the storm.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, a few more days. How do you feel? And I'm like, dude, I literally have butterflies.
Right.
Like I'm so excited.
By the way, guys, Harmony's new track comes out on 11/11. It's coming up. So this episode should just be released around that time. So everybody get on your Spotify, whatever you can get on Apple,
and,
whatever.
and any platform. I mean, any platform is good, but yeah, just listen to it because I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it,
yeah, it's okay.
give her a follow and listen to her stuff. You know.
I think that's great. Well, we're going to continue on this subject. We're getting into some relationship stuff now.
Okay.
Things like, so this is a good one here. So, and this it's right along the lines that we're talking about. So, this episode is called, guys. By the way, we have Harmony Swank and Frankie Moreno on the show. Thank you so much for being here. It's called "Who's in Your Corner." To succeed in business and in life, you need someone in your corner who cares about you enough to challenge you and is courageous enough to tell you the truth, especially when the pressure's on. So it's along the lines of what we've been speaking about. And this quote came from George Foreman, by the way. So I heard this on the show and I was like, that is a great episode topic.
Yeah.
So
His wife was super supportive when he made the grill.
I mean, look at that, right?
Do it, babe. Do it.
Yeah.
Grill
So
me.
we're gonna start with you, Harmony. Like, so when you're like, even, like, who do you feel like is always in your corner? Like, I know like Frankie obviously is in your corner right now, and this is a great corner man to have.
It's a great mentor.
Coming from, like I said, George Foreman was a boxer. That corner man is that's your guy you go to. He's gonna fix you up, clean you up, and just tell you the truth and get you back out there into the ring. So how do you feel about that? And who do you feel are your best corner people?
God, honestly, I mean, my family's huge, especially my mom. My parents in general.
Big
but
advocates?
my mom is huge. Like she is always supportive, but she'll also tell me like it is. But she's happy for me when I'm happy. If I'm sad, she is there for me. She pushes me. She encourages me. My dad has never given up on his dream. So he is always like, no matter how old you are, it's never too late to try. And
Right.
he shows me by example. So honestly, my parents. They're
Okay.
super, super amazing.
That's right. Do you have brothers and sisters, by the way?
I do. Yes, there's 6 of us. There's
Oh,
3
wow.
boys and 3
Good God,
girls. And
family.
like 30 years from my oldest brother to my youngest. Like my mom had a baby at 51. So it's
Holy
kind of wild.
Wow.
So I
Really?
have a huge family and I'm
Yeah.
a big family girl. So
Okay.
my family is always like, on my side, always there for me, and like supports everything I do.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I kind of agree with her on that one for me too. Like my mom, she's passed away, but my mom was the one who just like set the tone for my life. You know, my
Yes.
dad's amazing, but my mom was the one who's always been like, you can do whatever you want to do. Whenever I had a problem, I would give her a call.
Yes.
You know, and she would always set me straight. She'd tell me the truth, and she goes, you can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want to be, and I'm always going to support you.
Yeah.
I have a best friend. She's the same way to me. You know, we always like, I don't know about, I'm sure we all probably have some, but this is my ride or die best friend. And she's like, if I ever have any issues, I go straight to her and like, hey, I need to like kind of get this off my
Yeah.
chest and see what you think about this. Like you said with your lyrics, like she'd
Yes.
probably be one of those that I'd go to. And obviously my girlfriend as well. So
And even
that's
if
for
I
mom.
mess up, like my mom is just like there to pick up the pieces. Like,
Right.
she's like, we're gonna get through
With
this.
no
You're
judgment,
gonna-
no nothing, right?
Nothing.
That's the
No,
best.
she just is there to listen and like be there for me, and that's so important.
That's amazing.
And I don't think it needs to be like, it doesn't have to be, you know, because some people don't have that,
Right, exactly.
you know,
Yeah, I have my journal.
yeah, like some,
And that's a good one though. That's a
That
good
is
one
great.
though.
yeah, some people don't have like the family support, or they're dating someone that they don't feel that from, and it doesn't mean that that person that you're dating has to be the one to give you that support, but somewhere you need to get that.
Right.
You need
It-
support.
Whether it be a mentor, a lot of people have mentors that
Right.
you
He's
look
my
for.
mentor.
Yeah, well, this is
Yeah.
why I'm saying it's a great
Yeah.
connection.
yeah, it's just
so-
having someone, and for me personally, like I'm pretty. I've done it a long time, so I like just do what I do, and I don't really want to hear anybody's opinions about it until it's out, and then go ahead and say whatever you want. Because
But who's your bounce off person though?
so
in
well,
theory?
so my girlfriend Lacey Schwimmer, you mentioned your
My-
girlfriend's or your sister's a choreographer.
Yes, she is. That's correct.
Yeah, so she's a choreographer, but she's just a hard ass about stuff. Like she'll just be like, you know, and also my brother that I write a lot of music with, they're just like, that's not good.
Okay.
And whether they're right or wrong, you just have to have a person to, you know, if Harmony comes in with an idea and she says, what do you think about this? And I go, I don't like it. It doesn't mean that it's not right. But you have to have that person that you just trusted opinion, and
course.
let's move on from there. Okay, I'll go with you. Let's move on.
Right.
And you know,
And sometimes I feel like the situation changes depending on what it is too. Like sometimes we need that. We don't want to go to someone who's just going to be our yes man. Be like, you know, I don't want to go to that person just to hear.
No, you don't want
something.
it.
I want someone who's like you said, like your sister or whomever, your girlfriend, who's just like,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to get the hard truth from that.
honestly,
person.
a yes man is the worst thing you can have
Yeah.
a successful business.
Right.
Be-
Yeah.
If they don't like it and they're like, no, we don't like this,
Then I
do
just
you still put
reevaluate it. I just
you still put it
reevaluate.
out?
If I'm super solid on it, I will. I do
Yeah.
that with all my music. Like I really don't want anyone listening to my music telling me anything about my music when I'm making it, because I'm in the process of creating.
Right.
And if I'm creating in my head and you come in and say like, no, that's a bad idea,
You're
well then
like,
it just
"I'm not
throws
done."
me off.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
finish it, and I go, what do you think? And if you're like, I don't like your vocal on this, or I don't like this, and I would go, why? It sounds this, and then I would evaluate that. Oh, you're right. But I only have about 2 or 3 people that I would listen to.
Okay, but
in that.
but you know who to go to for that then.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
it doesn't even mean it's a supportive thing or not. It's delegating out situations to people, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And like my parents were always, you could be whatever you want to be, you know, and that's awesome, and you have to have that.
Yeah.
But I could also be whatever I want to be and totally mess it up.
Right.
You know, so like with her, like she'll come in with an idea, and I will not diss the idea. I might go like, I might say this, or this might. For me, when I'm looking at a song lyric, I mean, if we get back to the song for a second, like if I'm looking at a lyric and what she's doing, it's more like, what is the mass people going to think of that? Because you might listen to it and she goes, my boyfriend left, and then you're disconnected,
Right.
right? And then, but you're connected. Because you're like, oh, I had a boyfriend that left, right?
You're
You know?
right.
But if you said, my baby left, you know, I mean, if you, simple as that, now we're all still in.
Right.
And then you start, as you go down the path, you're like, nope, you're taking me out again. He left me at the Applebee's. I don't go to Applebee's.
Right.
I'm out. He left me at the restaurant. I've been to a restaurant. So you have to have someone kind of doing that. But I mean, there are the fortunate. You're fortunate with the parents. You're fortunate with the parents. I was too. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but it's
Not so much.
yeah, but
I don't know. I'm not even
but
gonna
that's
go
not
there.
a requirement. And I think a lot of times, if we're talking about dating and stuff like that, a lot of times people are looking for that in their partner, but it doesn't have to be your partner.
Right. No, and sometimes I feel like it's not necessarily
I
the partner
found it
as
in
well.
my friendships.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so
For
for
sure.
you, like who are your like one or two, or you have a few? Like, I mean, more. You know what I mean? Who do you go to
Yeah,
mainly?
I have like
No.
I'm actually really lucky that I have like a good core group of friends,
Okay.
and then like 2 or 3 like really solid ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I like, it depends on the person. Like, I like someone who obviously wants, I just want the truth from that person all the
Right.
time. I want someone to be basically telling me no, or da,
Right.
or yes, this is good. Like for you, once again, going back to you, when you sent the text to him,
Yeah.
I'm sending that text to a slew of people who I trust and know that will give me the hard truth from
Yes,
the
that's what I
beginning.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and-
once I hear the go ahead of like, you know what, you have something here,
Right.
then I'll be like, okay, I'm shopping this thing all over because I trust them enough
Right.
to be like, yes.
And
it's good.
I think when I first even said it to you, I said like, I was super into her lyric content and all that stuff, and I said like I'm not. There was a couple like things chord wise and stuff that I was pretty honest. I'm like, I didn't say it was bad. I just said I wouldn't do that. And
Like,
she's
are you okay with me changing?
Can I
it?
change it? She goes, yeah, go
like,
for
Yeah.
I
it.
trust you. Like,
Yeah.
I trust.
But whatever it is, whether it's music or just living your life and making decisions in life, if you're surrounded, because I grew up in this business of rock and roll music and all that stuff. So it's like you're surrounded by people who love the industry and want to be part of. I travel.
Right.
I have I have a schedule, of course, but like I make my schedule. Like I don't have to be somewhere at a certain time. I can just say no, I don't want to do that. My job is getting on a stage in front of people going, you're great, you're good. So that's a weird life. And of course, people are attracted to that lifestyle. It comes with a lot of problems.
Okay.
And the main problem is it comes with people who are attracted to it that have no business in it. And they all want to be there. And then they're around you and they don't want to leave it and they don't want to lose it. So it's yes, man, yes, man,
Gotcha.
yes, man.
Yeah.
And I'll be around it. And then you're not getting any sense of reality. And so your bubble becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you even start isolating them because you realize they're doing that, but you're already in this bubble. So it's a weird lifestyle.
Well, it's because it takes time to recognize that though as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime anyone new comes in that you feel like it's like going, and I'm going to ask you this question after I say this, going off of that, anyone who comes in new, you're almost like, if they're the right person, you kind of get swooped away by that in
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah, everything's
Right.
everything is a moment thing when you're doing creative stuff. And I even told her, I said, you know what you're signing up for here. You know, she's like, I want to do this, and I want to do this. I'm like, I've got the awards at home. I've got the fun stuff. It's cool. But to get that, you give away a lot.
Of course.
You give away you. You're giving yourself. You're not giving I'm not giving you a gift and a material object. You're giving your soul and your heart and
He's
a lot.
like, you're selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah, it really is. Not in a negative
She's like, and where's
way.
that pen?
You're
Where do I
opening up
sign?
your experiences for the whole world to like hear.
Yeah,
and
like, you have to be
judge and-
vulnerable and yeah.
You
Yeah.
just have to know. Here's my diary, everyone. Put a big
Yep.
spotlight
Yeah.
on it. And some people are going to go, that's awesome. And some people are going to go like, you suck. And you have to know that.
But that's the Leo in her though. See, and this is why I'm glad you're a Leo, because we can take all of that
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
all the time.
But
So now
it gets crushed.
I know, and
Lions.
it does, and I understand that. But so here's a question for you. So, and this is going to be for both of you. Actually, it's more for you about him. When did you? So when you got in, he started doing all this for you. Now, how do you know he's the right person for you at this time? What was the feeling? What was the time? Because we can all get caught up going, wow, this is being made now. Da da da. We're getting into it, but all of a sudden, it's just
Yeah.
like, is he the right person to push this for me?
Honestly, there was just like instant chemistry. Like
Good.
it was just like immediate. And I loved that, like what I heard in my head, he was creating. So it was like this like beautiful like creation together. And so everything that I hear, and he's like doing this instrument and this, and he's like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm listening, I'm like, this is exactly what I hear in my head. Like we're on the same page. It's like everything just worked, and it felt
Good.
right.
It's like
Good.
meeting someone. If you're single and you meet someone, you're single, and like things just roll. You don't sit there at dinner like, so what do you do?
Like,
It
it's
was
not
so
awkward
natural,
ever.
Right.
so
That's
natural.
so
like
it was instantly
Good.
not.
we were
Yeah.
laughing, we have the same type of a humor, and it was just like I said, just like as it was being created, it was just this is so beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, the
good.
music
Whole
the
thing.
music worked because it was just there was instant comfort, and I think, like for me, like I said, I've worked with lots of people, and you only get that. I've only had like my brother Tony, I write a lot of music with. A couple people. There was a girl that I wrote with a while back, and one other lady that I wrote with. Like those are the ones that are like, oh wow, it just works.
Okay, good.
You find a few,
Right.
Just like dating. Like,
well, that's why I was going to ask you then. So the flip side is like, when do you sit there and go, this isn't working? Like, even though you guys were, because there's always going to be some. It takes time to find that match. But I like that you said that you just matched up
guys-
at the
Well, I
beginning.
was
Right off
like,
the bat.
I'm even nervous, like in my home by myself, like singing into my phone just to like get a recording. I'm like, I got to do it again. But like when I'm in the studio with him and I like lay down my vocals, it just happens.
That's great.
I don't even know how to explain. It just happens. Like, and I feel, and it's like the right delivery. It's like better than what I do by myself.
well,
So
it's just
like,
because there's a common goal. The goal is like, let's make this the best. And you're kind of, you're not at home. You're not at home judging your own self. You're like, I got to prove myself.
Yeah.
And when you're proving yourself, you usually do better.
Yeah.
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 It just like comes,
Right.
it just works. It
Okay.
just works.
Well, you guys seem like a really great team. by the
No,
way,
it's really great. I mean,
We already have like 10 more songs like ready to record.
Well, that's what I
like we're
told her.
just like continuing.
yeah, I told her next, like, we got to build but didn't mean to get off the whole dating question.
No,
yeah, sorry.
but
But
about
that support thing, like for me to her, I think she has all the things she needs to have, and then she's got the tools,
Right.
and I know how to build a house, and I have the tools, and now she has the tools. It doesn't mean that she can build a house. Like it does rely on her. So am I the right person? No one is the right person for you
course.
except for yourself.
Right.
You just have to find the right team of people who guide you in the right direction.
Right.
And she'll call me and say like, hey, what about this? We'll do a release party, and should I sing? I go, you should not sing that song. First time people should hear that song is hearing the song, not hearing a version of you singing it live with a sore throat with a band who doesn't know it well.
He told me I give him an anxiety. Like he goes, your text messages will come in and you're giving me extreme anxiety.
Well, she's
girl."
this is her first time through this. So
I'm excited.
She's excited, and it's very like, we got to work together again. I'm like, we're going to. Like, she's very excited to do it and push it, but the hard part about this business is doing it the right way.
Got it. Yeah.
And I'm
like, no,
fast.
stand by. Let me call you.
Yeah,
Hold on.
she's fast. I'm fast at writing, and that's great. And we made the record so fast, and now we'll do all the other stuff fast. But like, you don't just do stuff to do it, because that's a common mistake in this. In anybody's industry, if you just start throwing stuff out there
Right.
without having people to approve of it or whatever, you're not test marketing it.
So I'm going to just throw in one little thing on what you just said right there, and I'm going to have to give you props on this one because I love this one as my co-host. Like for the past year and a half, she's been amazing, and I feel like our bond is like really special. Like this, she's someone in my corner I could have all the time as well.
Awesome.
What you just said right there is what she does for me because I sit there and go, "Brrr," and she's like, no,
Really?
slow it down. We're not doing that just to fill seats in the butts in the seats. I was like, okay, good one, honey,
It's
good
the
one.
yin-yang. It's
but
the yin-yang.
I
You have to have both.
so many creative ideas in my head all the time, and I bounce them off of her, and she goes, no. It's
Yeah.
like, but this is why we work, because I always needed like that side that I don't have, and
Yes.
she's that side for me,
Yeah.
which you are.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I love
glad
her for
he's
that.
just
That's
like,
awesome.
no.
So
You
I
have to
appreciate
have that.
that from you. I really do.
You have to have.
yeah.
I mean, you have to have someone. My manager, for instance, is so chill, and he's like, he will never tell me anything's happening. Like he won't go like, "Hey, we're working on this Carnegie Hall deal," and then I get excited, and then it doesn't happen. He'll wait until like, "Hey, I just signed the contract. This is what you're getting paid.
Yeah.
It's on this date."
Yeah.
He waits, and like if I come to him like, "Hey, I got an idea. I want to open a hot dog stand, Frankie's Franks," and he's like, let's sit on this one.
Yeah.
And then the next day I realized, oh yeah, that was dumb. In the moment I'm like, brilliant. I'm gonna have an Airstream with a hot dog on it. I'm like,
This is a real thing. Please.
go up and
Right.
down the strip.
But God
Right.
forbid no one tell you something when you're feeling that moment. Like, fuck him. He doesn't know what you're talking about. I'm doing
Right.
this shit. Frankie's Franks is going to work.
Yeah,
And then the next
exactly.
day you go up
Yeah.
going, oh, yeah, never mind.
Never
But
mind.
but sometimes it does work.
Of course it does,
So
but
it's just the trust.
Right.
You have to have the trust in people. And I mean, and getting back to the whole dating scenario, like you can't put that trust in a partner because hopefully it comes from the partner. That's great. But if it doesn't, you can't put that pressure on a partner. You need to make me feel secure about myself,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to support me. If you're not mentally confident in what you're doing anyway, nothing's going to work.
Of course.
A relationship, a business, nothing will work if you're not confident
Right.
in. And I don't mean like conceited or ego. I just mean like you're just confident in what you do.
Right.
And then you're willing to take
Well, and you
advice.
also hope that someone, like, as we're on the partner situation, that they're going to be honest enough and communicate with both, like,
Right.
look, that's not my job. I can't do that
Yeah.
for you right now.
Right.
That's why when people come to me and always like, I'll meet people left and right and say, hey, I do relationship, this and that. And they go, oh my God, I want you to, so here's my problem. And I always
Right.
tell them, I go, the first thing I say is, if you're going to tell them your problems, I'm going to give you the hard truth. So if you're
Yeah.
going to share that with me, don't expect me to sugarcoat anything you got going
Right.
on. So I just let them have it all the time.
So even with her thing, like when we finished like some of her songs, like the first couple songs we did, I'm convinced it's a hit. Like I'm saying to her, I'm like, and I know a little bit about hits. You know what I mean?
Just a little bit.
Just
67.
a little bit. But I'm just listening to him going, this is a hit. So a hit means people buy it.
Right.
That's what a
Right.
hit is. Radio also means a hit. Radio and people buying it don't necessarily have anything to do with each other. Radio helps people buy it. But if people, like I have no radio play, but we have hits.
Yeah.
You know, she might get a ton of radio play and not have hits. I mean, that happens all the time. Bruce Springsteen has never had a #1 single.
That's interesting.
Crazy.
That's wild.
So I mean, it
Wow.
has nothing to do with each other. But with her, when she first did it, I had to go, even though I was convinced, and I've got experience in it and everything. I went down and I sold Lacey. I'm like, what do you think? And she doesn't like anything, you know, or she's just very don't like the voice, don't like this, whatever. And I showed it to her, and she goes, that sounds like a hit. I'm like, okay, we're on to something here. Then I showed my kid, you know, who's like all into music now, and
Yeah.
he's like, Dad, that sounds like a hit song. So that's why I wanted to bring in this guy Pat Thrall to mix it, because like there was one more level of another guy who's a giant in the industry that I just want, whether he liked it or not, I was convinced at this point we're going to make the record. I mean, we're going to release it.
Right.
But I just wanted, I was crossing my fingers for his seal of approval. When I sent it to him, it took a couple days for the email to open, and she keeps going, does he like it? Does he like it?
I'm like, what did he say? What did he say?
And I'm like, oh
Pins
my
and
God, is
needles.
this what I look like? Holy shit.
He just had a Jamie moment.
God.
See that? And Frankie
I
said he
look like
wouldn't
a
have that
damn
moment
werewolf.
just now.
Sorry, everybody.
No. You,
Look like a werewolf.
I look like it should be like like Lost Boys Part
it is
3.
A full moon.
See, that's what happened.
Oh, lunar
like- it's-
eclipse. Lunar eclipse. Oh my God. That's
See?
Don't get me on
You
the
see?
squirrel moment.
I see. But Pat then wrote back. He goes, this is a hit. He goes, the music's a hit. The tempo's perfect. The key is just right for her voice. Her voice is perfect on this. He goes, what does she look like?
I love that he said that before he knew what I looked like. I felt like I was on The Voice.
Okay,
not like
good,
some weird
good.
shallow thing. Just it's a business.
Yeah,
Right.
of
No,
course.
but it's
And-
nice that he cared before.
And there's not it doesn't matter if you're there's plenty of Lyle Lovett's pretty famous, you know what I mean? There's plenty of people who have made careers that, no offense, Lyle. I love that.
Sorry, girl.
But I mean,
Sorry, Lyle.
no, I mean it has
Sorry about
nothing to
that.
do with that. But
Right.
but what she's trying to get across, it doesn't hurt.
Yes.
Of course.
That-
That she's hot.
increases the package.
Right,
Let's just
and
say
so
that.
I sent a picture. Oh, he goes, wow, she's pretty. She was like a Carrie Underwood vibe. I go, yeah, that's kind of like the thing, but different. Like Carrie Underwood's got a different message.
Yeah.
She's got a different message. So it's like, I can't stress the message thing enough. Like an artist, you like an artist because of what they present themselves as. It's not just
Yeah,
the
lyrics
song.
are so important to me.
Yeah, and
That's
even most
the
people don't
important.
really listen to lyrics, really, you know, but they're there subliminally, and you know what I mean. You so when we got all that support, going to that thing about support, like now it felt right, and then you cross your fingers and you put it out and you go, well, everyone in my team believes in this,
Okay.
you know, and now we're becoming her team.
I was about to say then that creates a whole team right
And
now.
Yeah.
how does she get it on the radio, or how does the stations
Well-
pick it up? Because I heard it's very,
It's almost impossible.
and yeah, there's
It's
like,
but there's
you
ways.
have to
there's
pay
ways.
your dues.
Yeah. So
And
these
some
days
people don't want to play the game.
No, and these days, radio's amazing for sales. Radio helps sales. It's a commercial. It's a constant commercial, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't need that because we've built a fan base over my whole lifetime. So if I put something out, like we have an email list that goes out to
Okay. Then
hundreds
they're
of
going to
thousands
take a
of people.
listen because they trust you.
They'll just trust the fan
Yeah,
base
which is
and they'll
great.
listen, and it's like a community. She has to build that community. And even now, like right now in today's world, her just starting, where do you go out and you start performing these songs? Especially here in Las Vegas, where do you go? Where does someone like her? For me, I was playing in bars, like you're talking about Matt Goss, stuff like that. There's little bars that used to exist that you would play in and
Okay.
build your way up to a showroom. If 1,000 tickets are being sold, you can move into a showroom, you know. And if you do a showroom, you could do 2 nights back to back, and then 4 nights, and then you could do 5 years. But where does someone like her start now? Because that's not a thing really anymore.
Right.
But radio is also kind of weird. When's the last time you got in your car and you just put on the local radio?
don't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
So it's different. So there's different ways, and like there's a Sirius and the XM. So you try to get in with those. There's also a thing like, you know, sending Sirius Radio, country radio wreckage it would fit right in perfectly. But it doesn't mean they're going to use it because who's
They
paying?
want to be paid.
They want to be paid.
Okay.
Of course.
And there used to be a thing called payola where you pay under the table illegally, and
Yeah.
now you do it very like, oh well, I'll donate to your favorite charity. It's the same scenario. So radio certainly is at the top of the radar for us to do, but I'm more concerned about her building a fan base. I want
Okay.
people to just organically hear this single at first, and just let's see, even if it's 10 people, you know.
Yeah.
So how long does that take then? How long?
I
Does
mean,
that
it could.
process
It could.
take?
I got my first hit record on my 26th album.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
I
some
meant
people get it on
enough
number
of a
one.
fan base
Yeah.
to put her like now. Hey, let's go out and start singing.
Well,
I
that's
guess
that's what
meant by
that's
that.
what for me. Like, I mean, we have a good outreach with our fans, so it's like I think they trust whatever I'm working on, so that's beneficial to her. But like, I think I would like to see her perform. Whoops, sorry. I'd like to see her perform somewhere here in Vegas and find a place that's not doing. Find a unconventional, like where you just saw me the other night.
Yeah.
That's unconventional. That wouldn't. I would never in the real world actually do that. I'm in this little tiny restaurant behind a McDonald's off Craig Road.
Okay.
For 50 invited guests, not even publicized. I can do that because I know I'll move all those tickets and do it. But like, that wouldn't be for her, because like for me, that's me coming in from being a headliner, like, hey, I'm doing this special thing and it's exciting. If you start with that, it's like, you're
Gonna
singing in a
stay
restaurant.
there. Or they always say like you don't want it, like you're a cruise ship singer, or
Yeah,
so
you get
it's
stuck.
I'm
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
I am very, very adamant on her like not
doing any
Not
doing
doing covers,
anything
not
that's not
doing-
like, here's my message and here's who I am. Like, not like, let's just sing this song because they want me to sing. Oh, they want us to sing this song, so we're gonna sing
Right.
Mustang Sally in Sweet Home Alabama. Like,
Well, you just got to trust him because
So will you sorry, will
go
you
ahead.
push her single to your
Yes.
like email
yeah,
group?
of course. Yeah, and I think it's step one. The single is step one. It's just really what I want to say. I know she wants the single to come out and be a hit record,
Oh, of course.
but I'm also very realistic, and like, a hit record is the amount of people that buy it.
Yeah.
When we put out a record now, like, we could sell 100,000 copies in an hour because I have that machine.
She's got to build that.
She doesn't
machine.
have that yet. And even if I pitch it to my people, it doesn't mean that they're going to like, oh, we want to hear a female voice singing these kind of songs. Like, they're fans of my message, right?
Right.
So I want to see with this single. I just want to see what the first
Responses.
response is. And it's like I told her, like, if you sell 10 singles, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not bad. We need to learn, okay, what are we doing wrong here?
All right.
Why didn't we get
But is
100?
it even really like what is she doing wrong? Maybe it's just she doesn't have that reach.
Right. And
No,
that's,
no, but yeah, exactly. So like, what do we do with the reach? Like if she sells 10 singles, I mean, she's not gonna sell 10 singles.
I
There's
mean, she
there's
already
5 of us
sold
in the-
3
At
here,
least
right,
11
Travis?
guys. Come on.
I'm just
at least
using an
11.
example. Let's say
Right,
100.
right.
Let's say it's 100. Let's say 100
Yes.
friends buy it. Friends. What are we doing that we didn't hit 500? Like, how did we not hit a reach through her social media?
Well, that's what you hire someone for, is the marketing aspect of it.
Right. And that's
So-
not me. That's a PR person pushing stuff to people. So I want to make sure that she has all those, you know what I mean,
In place.
in place. But not necessarily with the first single. The first single, I just want to see what the natural thing is so we know what to build.
Gotcha.
If she sells 10,000 copies of this, we hire someone in to run with that. If we sell 100, we need to hire a different person.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, you're either going to kiss him or punch him. So either way,
I
it's going to
guess
go one or the
so.
other.
I
It's what it
guess
is.
so. We'll see.
I trust his strategy. It's like, it's like,
No,
like,
I
yeah,
trust him,
yeah.
and I'm happy he's in my corner.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
But no,
He's
I feel
looking out
like
for you.
lucky to have
Yeah,
him. I
he's
feel
looking out
honored to
for
work
you.
with him, and he looks out for me. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's good partnership.
Yeah, I'm definitely in her corner to support, and like, you know, after the songs move on and it's out of my hands and it's a record, now it's her thing now, it's
Mm-hmm.
her product. But I want to see it win because I was part of it. So I
like
obviously
you
want to see it.
invested your time.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
energy into
time.
it.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, in the time that she came over, in the 4 hours she's at my house that day, there's 40 hours that go into tweaking that.
That
And like,
one
oh, the bass
song.
is not lick. You know, I'll pick up the bass like she said, bass, drums. But then there's editing, like
And
making.
he like added choir
Yeah.
to it. He has
Oh,
to
wow.
give
Yeah,
the
it's
choir the
pretty nuts.
parts. Like
Wow.
he did a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting back to that support question. I think she's got a good support team around her too. Like the parents and stuff like that are all great for the confidence, but you have to have the team of people who know how to push you and what's right and what's wrong. There's no way to really know what's right in anything.
Right.
But you can definitely know what's wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Like this will not work.
Do you think it's like a matter of getting lucky though?
Yes.
Because like the right person hears it and then they like reach out, but it's so hard, especially now, I think with like social media and the way things are, to set yourself apart because there's so much.
Yeah, it's called how do you get heard in all the noise? How do you get heard in the noise? It's helpful. It's helpful that she's charismatic and pretty. Those are all helpful things. That will not create a star.
Right.
There's a zillion pretty people with good attitudes and great content on Instagram. Instagram and everything also is kind of the death of the music industry, because you used to be a fan of an artist and you'd go buy their records and I got a picture with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like your picture with Michael Jackson is not about your picture with Michael Jackson. It's like, how many likes do I get?
Yeah.
It's about how many likes do I get?
Right.
I'm the star. I'm the star of my Instagram
That's
show.
interesting. That's very true.
And it's that kills artists. That kills celebrityism. That's why there's a zillion middle class celebrities. You know, there used to be, these are the stars. You know what I mean? Now it's like we have the Brad Pitts, but even like the A-listers, there's 100 A-listers.
Yeah.
And there's a zillion B and C and D-listers. So when you break that down to becoming a new singer coming up, a blonde country girl singer coming up, there's a million. And everybody wants it because it's an awesome job. Everyone goes, oh yeah, I want to tour. But when you start taking the layers off, take the sparkles down, take the confetti away, take the whipped cream off, and you start getting down to the brick walls and the mud and the shit, people start dropping out. Like, oh, this is too hard for me, or I'm losing my friends, I'm losing my relationships over this because I'm so focused. I mean, I was married before and lost my relationship because I was just so hyper focused on something that no one really wants to be around it. They see you and they meet you and like, oh my God, you're hyper focused. I want to be part of that. But to actually be with someone hyper focused is not good. They're so focused on something. And it wasn't focused on myself. It was just focused on the idea of making records. And I'm like, focused. So like anything you say is like a secondary. And no relationship, no person dating you really truly wants that in the end of the day. So I was trying to explain, like, there's a lot of bullshit. So hang in there with all this because you have all
the. You ready for the ride?
I have been ready.
Like,
I am all good.
She has all the things. So like, just know, like, some people are gonna go like, this record sucks, or I hate your song, or your voice sounds like mashed potatoes, or you know, whatever.
She's not going anywhere.
No, you sit there and you honestly you don't even read that stuff. You just don't even read it.
Yeah,
you
I just delete and
you
block.
live for you.
Yeah, for
you live
sure.
for you. Like. Yeah, I go through, even me, like I've had a bunch of success with it, but I'll look at my messages and there'll be like 1,000 messages today and 999 I'm like, oh my God, love the new single. Oh man, who's playing bass on that? Or whatever, like, oh, the album cover looks great. And then one guy says something like, you're a poser. and in my brain I'm like, I'm a fucking poser. Like I'm just in my brain I'm like, am I a poser? Am I a poser? Like, is this all a bunch of bullshit? Like I'm like, it gets to you no matter what.
Yeah,
like it gets to you. One guy made some comment one time. He goes, it sounds like you're eating a sandwich when you sing. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? And that was like 10 years ago. And I still remember it like I just read it this morning. Like,
you should try eating a sandwich and singing,
yeah,
and then know what it sounds like.
Kudos to that guy out there.
Next time you record, just eat a sandwich.
That guy got
and then be
all
like,
up in my fucking head.
What if it works and that's what you do from now
That's
on
my
when you
new
record?
thing.
It's crazy.
Maybe it's a hot dog.
It's
there you go.
Frankie's.
Franks. That's the best. Oh my God. All right. Okay, guys, we're gonna get into our question today because this is a great day today, guys. We got Frankie's Franks over here, Frankie Moreno over here, and Harmony Swank talking music.
If there's any hot dog questions, I mean that falls into some dating for some people.
That's how you walk up on stage next time, eating a sandwich instead of your drink. Yeah, just like, I got this.
Right.
So, all right, guys, we're gonna go with this one today. Question 8. So, my girlfriend and I have been living together for about 5 months now, but we can't ever agree on who should make dinner every night. We honestly both suck at cooking and have one go-to meal we can each make well. We need help. Any suggestions?
Ooh, you know, these
Yeah.
friends of mine, they did this like journal thing, which I thought was super cool. And you like, I think you roll the dice and you like pick a card or whatever, and it tells you what to make. It's like a challenge.
Oh,
And you
great.
do it as a couple. So it's like a new thing to both of you. And they like film themselves doing it, and they take like a Polaroid at the end and they put it in the journal. They talk about like what they liked about it, if it was successful, like what they learned throughout the process. And it was just like a fun date night thing to do. And so it's kind of like you do it together,
Yeah.
and you just make it fun. And it's just like a roll of the dice of what you have to cook. that night.
Or every night they could go to that new place that opened in town where it's all in the dark and you don't know what you're eating.
Oh,
Yes.
God. I saw
Oh, yeah.
that.
The
That
dark
place.
experience.
They have one of those
Yes.
here now as well.
Yes, they do.
Or I mean, you
God.
can Uber Eats. I
Yeah.
mean, nobody wants to cook,
Surprise.
or I'll come cook for them. I
Okay.
love cooking.
Well, there you go. You
They
can
could
get
start a little
music and
fun,
harmony.
then
Yeah.
you hire a person to come cook at your
No,
house.
me.
and
They're hiring me.
They hire you.
I'm
I
right
am
up
the
that,
chef.
yeah.
Perfect.
Hire a
Chef H money.
Hire a chef.
I love it.
Okay, for those who can't hire a chef out in the world, what's your go-to meal? What do you like to make? Everybody's got a go-to. What's your thing?
What is my go-to? Probably fruit.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
'cause
you
I
do
have
eat a
such
lot of fruit.
I have such a sweet tooth.
What's your favorite fruit?
Pineapple.
Mm.
Pineapple.
I
Watermelon,
would have said
blueberries.
I would have said blueberries. but
I'm
I
a
already know that.
mango girl.
Yeah,
I love
mangoes are
mango
great.
too,
God, I love
but it's
mango.
so hard. So much work. To
Yeah,
It's a
can't-
lot
I
of
can't
work to
deal with
cut that crap.
I
Yeah,
can't.
I know.
I wish I could do that fold thing. Can you do
Yeah.
that with the mango and like cut it and do the fold?
I haven't tried it.
Oh my
I
God,
mean,
like
I
you
I
should.
have one
it?
in my
You cube
fridge.
it?
I'm gonna
I
try
should
it.
try
Yeah,
it.
I've tried it. I've
Let's
known how to
try
do it,
it,
but I
Jamie.
can't
I
do it
say
very well.
like Pinterest has a lot of cool recipes, so maybe like you guys alternate weeks. Like one week, she picks something, you guys make it together, and then vice versa.
And maybe don't do it every single day because
Yeah.
like every day you're gonna argue about the same thing. Like you
Right.
said.
Well,
Once
it's
a
time
week.
consuming. So
or that week is her choice and the
Yes,
next week is his
his
choice every
choice.
night.
right.
Yeah.
It's just to try new
Make it
things and
fun.
he's got to try new things.
I have to say I'm up for all that because like with my situation, I mean we're both really busy, and so if she cooked the other night, and it's like once a week for us, we're both like, wow, this is great.
It's
you know,
special.
it is, and it's
Yeah.
just and it kind of cuts
And
out
then you
that
add
whole.
that to your favorites.
That's the thing right there. So
I also think that no matter what, it's going to be an issue forever. Like I still like, what do you want to do for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Just
Yeah.
decide. What do you want? I don't know. What do you? I don't care what we eat. Well, how about
A
this place?
huge
I hate that
issue.
place. That's every single day.
right.
So
So
it-
I'm a deer in headlights. Once that goes, what restaurant? I go dark. I go,
Right.
you choose. I'm like, and I hate saying that, but that's one of the things I communicate to my girlfriend. I go, don't make me choose restaurants. I suck at it. I'm not good at that.
I don't
So
enjoy
when
it.
I
you
just
ask
don't
me,
like it.
yeah,
Just make a
Guy, I
decision.
love
Right.
cooking. I
Be a
love choosing
man.
restaurants.
Tell me where we're
See,
going.
If it was my
Going
week,
to
my
In-N-Out.
week would be different. Like chili dogs on Monday, deluxe
Do you
dogs on
really
Tuesday,
like hot
Chicago.
dogs?
Oh God, I love.
I mean,
You
Frankie's
should open
Franks,
Frankie's
actually, this is
Franks.
the
I'm
thing.
going to one day.
I'm a pizza addict.
You wanna
I
see
feel like
mine?
you should have it
Absolutely
outside your
addicted.
show.
So you can
Yeah.
do pizza every day.
I'm going to
then.
open a pizza restaurant. He's
Okay.
going to open Frankie Frank's.
Buy a CD,
That's
get
it.
a free hot dog.
But seriously, if I said,
I
"Hey,
love
Harmony,
hot
what are we
dogs,
doing for dinner
though.
tonight?" The first thing that comes to mind is we're doing pizza.
Pizza is my favorite
Yeah, mine
thing.
always
and
goes
it's
to
the
Chinese
best
food.
thing.
Mine goes straight to
Oh,
Chinese.
no
I'm like,
way.
But where
yeah,
in Vegas
straight.
you get good Chinese?
But I'm in LA.
I
That's
like
the thing.
Thai.
yeah.
I do love Indian foods. That Indian
Oh,
restaurant was
saffron.
bomb.
Okay.
Saffron.
That's where my party's going to be.
Yeah,
Everybody's invited.
it's actually really good
Nice.
Indian food. I love Indian food.
I'll be in a
Indian
wedding.
food's a hard one to get people to go like, hey, let's all go get Indian because if you haven't had it, you're like,
It's so good.
It is
though.
really
It
good.
was
though.
really,
Yeah, it's
really, really
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
And I don't eat Indian food.
and
often.
Thai. I love Thai.
I love Thai food.
Those are I think people don't try all the things. They think they're supposed to go to the steakhouse and the fast
Pizza.
foods and the
But
pizza.
Italian, we
There's
have
so
the
many,
best meals.
so
in
many
So
great
good.
things. There's especially.
I mean,
Once again, I just don't like choosing. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll sit-
people should just date me who will choose and who will cook, and that's it. That's
or
the
just
answer.
make every
That's the
Tuesdays
answer.
Taco Tuesday.
Ooh,
That's
Taco
right.
Tuesdays.
I just
great.
go to the
I
same
love-
places all the time.
But that's okay though because it's you.
And
so
you know
if,
you
I
like
would,
it.
Exactly, and it's like
Like
you're
the
gonna get
drive-thru
something
pizza.
you. I love that place. There's this place that Jamie took me to when I first came. We started doing recordings here, and she goes, "Do you want to go to this drive-thru with me?" I go, "Sure," because like I'm just like her. Like we eat very healthy, but when
Yeah.
we want our bad food, we want our bad food.
Bad.
And, so, and
Really
that's what I
bad.
love about it. So she goes to this drive-thru that's had pizza, but she goes, but it had like what it had, like
Cheeseburger
cheese
fries.
fries, and I go, "What is this magical place that you drive through and get all this amazing stuff?" The other day she goes, "Oh, that place shut down." I was like, "No."
Oh, devastation.
It's
I
not like a
would've started-
chain. It was its own thing.
It was like the flyby pizza. So you go and then you see
And
the
you watch a
movie.
cartoon on
Yes,
the side
that
of the
was it.
wall.
I
that thing is
died for that
So you're like,
place.
oh my god, I smell
Oh,
the churros.
you watch like a movie while you're waiting in line.
It's
They like have a movie,
ridiculous.
and then
It's
there's
a
like
drive-thru.
characters
Oh, that
you
sounds
take pictures with,
awesome.
and you
Theater.
drive through, and it's a theater, but you get pizza.
That sounds awesome.
It is
It's gone.
And I'm not a
place closed
pizza person.
down?
I just got the
Me
chili
neither.
cheese. I mean, the cheese fries. But yes, she goes, it shut down. I go, God
No,
damn it.
I liked that
Someone who
place.
did something so well, just like in music or whatever it is. It's like they didn't get discovered enough and they just went by the wayside.
Yeah.
And now they're never going to do it again.
Really sad about
Happens all
that.
That
the
is really
time.
sad.
They're never going to do it again. You know?
Yeah, it's a big investment,
Yeah.
and especially with restaurants. I mean, that's
God, that was a great place.
It was
I love
it was
that. I
amazing.
love that place.
Yeah.
Yes, I told you.
I'm going to
pizza.
petition and stand outside of the empty building.
I'll
and
do
be
it
like,
with you
Well,
all
it was
the
the guy
time.
that created CSI. So he's the one that put up that little space.
Okay.
See, on
Okay.
my hot dog Airstream, I'm gonna put like videos on the wall.
Are you stealing
gonna
ideas, Frankie Frank?
Frankie Frank.
Frankie Frank.
Actually,
Let's go get a
his
Frankie
hot dog-
Frank.
His hot dog place might actually work in that facility.
Well, now I want a hot dog.
Hey, you
My
could buy
manager-
it out.
I hope my
Frankie,
manager's
done.
watching.
Okay, we're all going to be part investors.
a new support
'cause we
team.
had this idea together. This idea was born here, so we're investors.
This is
Frankie
how stuff gets
gonna
created
take
in
over
rooms
Fly
like this.
More
Fly
questions, more
pizza.
dating questions. This is fun.
Oh my God, we are out of questions. We are kicking Frankie
Give me more,
Frank out of
give me
here. No, but seriously, guys, it's been a great episode. Seriously, we're gonna get
Thank
moving
you,
on. But
guys.
Jamie, is there anything that you'd like to say before we leave today?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Shout out to Suzette for hooking
Yes.
us up with our tops.
Oh, the tops
Thank
are
you guys
beautiful.
so
They're the
much.
best.
Yeah.
Best company ever. I
And
love
yeah,
them.
New Peel for hooking us up with like our little foot scrubs.
Yes.
Shout out to Brian for the Dickies.
Download Wreckage. Please download
yes,
Wreckage.
download 1111,
iTunes.
people.
Apple
Yep.
Music.
Even if
Yeah.
you do it, I don't know what's the what's the
1111. And
yeah.
we'll put a link. When
1111.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
it
really
just
nice
if
page.
nothing else, just give it a listen. Just give it a listen.
See if
know
you
what I
like
mean?
it.
Just
Right.
see if you like it. And if you like it,
Hopefully
You
you
know.
do.
Yeah.
I think
we'll
you
put up
will.
a poll.
yeah.
Yes. A poll. Another poll.
That's
oh,
what she
God.
said.
Here they go. Da-dum.
We should do that today, right now, actually. When we
Yeah.
get done
Let's
with
do
here.
it.
Yes.
All right. All
All
right,
right.
guys.
Thank
Before
you
this
guys
gets
so
out of
much.
control, Frankie, what do you want to plug
Frankie
besides
Franks.
Frankie Franks?
Where can we find you?
I start the Palms. I'm doing a residency at the Palms starting in January. Doing
That's
6 months
great.
at the Palms.
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Awesome.
In Las Vegas. It's the new room that I'm doing.
Do we get backstage to come see you?
Yeah, man.
Awesome. I will come.
I'll
for
have
that
hot
show.
dogs and whiskey.
Frankie Franks.
I'll bring the whiskey between the Franks.
All right.
Harmony will be there.
Yeah. No, all I want to plug is I'm plugging her song right now. I just want I just want people to see if they like it. And if they don't, go ahead and chime in and tell us why too. It's
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
like test.
Good feedback.
Yeah.
This is the perfect audience to test it out with too, by the way.
Yes.
So
Oh, I'm
Harmony,
excited.
besides you, I mean, obviously we know your songs kind of worked. We're super excited for anything else you'd like to plug on the side.
No, follow me.
All right, let's do that.
That's a
Find her
good
on
one.
social media.
Find me on
Her
social.
handle is right there.
Harmony
so
Swank underscore.
Check her
Oh,
out.
wow.
Let her know
There it
what
is.
you
Yeah.
think of her music.
All right, and I'm just going to say, everybody, please follow us at Dating Intelligence social media, and my personal is at Fetch Sport, FETCHSPORT, and Jamie.
Jamie_Villamore. Thank you guys.
All right, that's another great episode. You guys
Follow
are
me.
amazing today.
guys.
Follow me
so
too.
much.
Follow me too.
Don't forget Frankie Frank.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment,
Like, wait, you
subscribe.
didn't
Yeah,
put my handle on there.
It's
just
okay.
just like, comment, subscribe, all of us people on our YouTube
did,
page
we
and
did.
everything else.
Oh,
so.
you're on there.
Perfect. All right, guys, another
All right.
episode.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. We are out.